the full power and the secret of the pen, education and upbringing, spirit and destiny, the greatness of a nation, the cradle of wisdom, name of origin, the piece of world culture is Kazakh.
The vast boundless steppe is stretching, dozing in the sunlight and relaxing like the Kazakh good-natured character. The main host of the household life is the horse, whose carefree stance corresponds to the Kazakh horse-like nature and prudence. The man with such an open nature resembles the wide steppe. He sometimes may be moody and offended by trifles like a pinch of snuff, nezbe. If something happens in life, this change is noticed by the lyric artist Omirbek Zhumaniyazov, who captures and animates this moment with the tip of his brush. He is just like a healer who feels everything by touching a wrist, catches an instantaneous moment how a human being tries to look well and conceal his inner offense, like a male wolf, and skillfully brings his audience this idea by depicting a small bird sitting on a horse saddle and looking in another direction.
Ол қас-қағым сәт зат қой былайынша. Үлкеннің кішкентайға ренжуіне байланысты. Ана жерде
This is a flash-like moment. It depends on how an elder person is offended by a younger one. A small bee-eater bird is sitting on a horse saddle and looking in another direction. This is a creative thing that links to an everyday petty offense. Generally, everyone could be involved in such creative activity, but not everyone can do genuine art. The art should first answer the social society so that it can be called real art. When we became independent, many artists adapted to the market and lost their civil position. And one of the few artists who preserve his civil views is Omirbek Zhumaniyazov. He is one of those artists who knows Kazakh history well, passes it through his heart, and presents his creative ideas to the modern time. Among such works there are pictures of the Khan Kenisarai and many other important figures of the Alash Orda. There is a high road next to the village, and animals are looking for a shade to hide from the sun. Barn's roof with cattle is going to damage from the rain and sun. Carefully harvested hay for cattle in the barn shows the accuracy of a peasant. This is a view of Shejin village, where a knowledgeable artist in art was born, named Kasteev. When a person is a professional artist, he can criticize his hands and eyes. Such kinds of compositions might not be in the room. It could be drawn in the nature. On the mountains, especially the light of the sun, and the weather could be changed quickly. That's why you have to draw landscape in 1 to 2 hours. We can say in this moment, the kind of feelings and the impression of the need to draw as these feelings you will share with the audience. This is the main purpose and attitude. It is sincere. Where will I find a donkey, a cattle barn? Then it will be artificial if I will draw it. But it is real with a curved door or a curved log, and there is hay scattered in all directions. It is not easy to draw from his mind. Mountains that reach till the skies are pressed against one another and has aspiration. A haughtiness guide which is inherent to Kazakh people. The thick grass is so as spiritual talks in a windless day. And a foal which was swimming and playing inside of that thick grass shows life in Shejin with full of interest. He saw it with eyes and felt it with his heart. An artist could express colors which were close to him and mix warm colors as well. There are no unnatural colors in his painting, as he showed fresh air of Shejin.
Дегенмен енді қазақтың бейнелеу өнерінің негізгі қалаушы кісі. Ол кісінің жүрген ізімен жүрген.
He is a founder of Kazakh art, and to follow after him it is an honor, and from another way is responsibility, and we tried to paint good compositions.
Оның шығармаларында ең басты ерекшелігі адамды ойландыруға шақырады да көбіне. Мына тарих шығармаларын жасаған кезде де бәрінде адам сол тарих уақыт туралы өзінің көзқарасын айтқаннан кейін адамды ойланады. Көбіне адам ойлануға шақырады. Одан басқа да енді оның баяғыда бір жұмыс.
The main peculiarity of his creative activity is that it makes a person contemplate. His pictures about history and time provoke people's thoughts about many things. It arouses curiosity to the artist's attitude to history and invites the audience to think about it. Few artists can do this. There are only a few artists who can express their civil position.
Өзінің азаматтық позициясын көрсететін суретшілер саусақпен санаулы.
This picture, drawn in the national style, takes its spectators to the ancient times, showing them the ornate image of a boulder among the tombstones, and brings the spectators back to our modern time, depicting the vague image of the oil fields in the background, so that it makes them feel in a timeless zone for a while. It attracts attention to the main theme that is based on a lark and its nest on a boulder, and whether they could connect these two time periods, which causes a dilemma. The author seems to imply his childhood dream and dream of other people that there could be an ideal time when the lark builds a nest on a sheep's back, despite the hardships and weak moments of the previous time.
Қазіргі тілмен айтқанда ремикс деп атауға болады шығар. Енді қазақ халқы баяғы жақсы кезең, керемет кезді бос тойғай қой үстінде жұмыртқалаған заман деп атайды ғой. Енді орысша келтірсе золотой век дейді, поэзияда серебряный век дейді. Қазақта бос торғай қой үстінде жұмыртқалаған заман деп атайды. Енді әр заманның өзінің белгісі болады. Сол қазіргі күрделі заманға байланысты өзімше.
Using everyday language, we can call it a remix. They call the past perfect times as the time when a lark laid eggs on a sheep's back. Every time has its own symbol. Personally, I decided to use this notion, this word in the form of my creative idea to show today's difficult age.
Өзі формасы да несте келеді ғой.
When I think of the oil fields in the background, the shapes of the tombstones in the foreground come to my mind. The majority of our economic income depends on the oil industry. We used to depend on our sheep and cattle before, and now we depend on the oil. These values change due to the time we're in.
Енді бағыттар заманға сай құндылықтар өзгереді.
As it was hard times for artists to develop the technique to economically use oil paint and put it on in a watery and thin layer. The artist says he still uses this technique. The artist came to the conclusion that his works reach their aims if they attract spectators, make them think it over, and aspire to good. The professional artist with his own unique style always keeps in his mind that he has to be responsible for each of his works and keep his mastery, views, and combination of different colors all together to create a worthy piece of art.